The clockmaker's ash. I found Holmes at the window, watching Baker Street as if it were a chessboard. On the table lay a small brass gear, blackened at its teeth, and beside it a slip of paper that smelled faintly of lavender. "Watson," said he without turning, "you have been to the surgery and returned in a hurry." "My boots are wet," I protested. "Wet, but only at the toes." "A cab, a puddle, and straight upstairs. Now attend." This gear was delivered an hour ago in a velvet pouch. Mrs. Hudson found it on the mat, and with it this note: "Bring back my time or I shall stop yours." "See, a threat," I said. "A complaint," he corrected. "Threats are loud. Complaints are precise." At noon our client arrived, Mr. Gideon Marsh, a clockmaker from Clerkenwell, thin as a mainspring and twice as tense. He wrung his hat like a sponge. "My apprentice is missing," he cried. "Edwin Pike." He went to deliver a longcase clock to the Greyfriar lodging house and never returned. This morning that gear was left at my shop, burnt and broken, taken from the very clock he carried. Holmes lifted the lavender-scented note. "Does your apprentice wear scent?" Marsh blinked. "No, but Mrs. Pike, his sister, she sells soaps." "And the gear?" Holmes asked. Marsh's eyes darted from the escapement. "Without it the clock cannot run." Holmes rose. "Then someone wishes time to stand still, at least in one house. Come, Watson." Clerkenwell was a maze of workshops and chimneys. At Marsh's shop, Holmes examined the velvet pouch with his lens. "Coal ash," he murmured, "but not from a domestic grate. See the glitter? Coke from an industrial furnace. And this smear, watch oil mixed with beeswax." We walked to Greyfriar Lodging House, a tall, soot-streaked building where men rented beds by the week and secrets by the month. The proprietor, Mrs. Latch, met us with a smile too quick to be honest. "No young man came here yesterday," she insisted. Holmes did not argue. He stooped instead and ran a finger along the stair rail. When he held it to the light, it shone with a faint, greasy line. "Clock oil," he said calmly, "fresh, and someone has carried a long case up these steps." Mrs. Latch's smile faltered. "Many people?" Holmes pointed to the wall where a cheap pendulum clock ticked loudly. "Your clock runs fast," he remarked. "It always has," she snapped. Holmes looked at its face. The minute hand was slightly bent, as if forced. He opened the little door, peered within, and withdrew a thin splinter of wood. "Walnut," he said, "from a long case. And cut recently. Someone hid the delivered clock here and stripped it for parts." Mrs. Latch's color rose. "I know nothing." A shout came from above. A man stumbled down, pale and sweating, clutching his chest. Holmes caught him by the elbow. "Too much excitement, Mr. Carver," said he pleasantly. "Or too much laudanum?" The man froze at the name. How? Your pupils tell me," Holmes replied. "Now where is Edwin Pike?" Carver's bravado collapsed like rotten timber. "In the cellar," he whispered. "He wouldn't mend it the way I wanted." Carver licked his lips. The long case had a false back. Marsh didn't know it held papers, ledgers. I needed the hiding place. I run a betting room. Police watch me. I wanted the clock to carry slips in and out. The boy found the compartment and refused. I frightened him. We descended to the cellar, where the air tasted of damp coal and old onions. There, bound to a chair but very much alive, sat the apprentice, his cheeks bruised and his eyes furious. Holmes cut the ropes with a single motion. "You did well to refuse," he said softly. "Men who use time to hide dishonesty always wish to steal more than hours." Upstairs, as the constables led Carver away, Mrs. Latch wept into her apron. Gideon Marsh embraced his apprentice like a man hugging his own heartbeat. Back at Baker Street, Holmes turned the charred gear between finger and thumb. "Lavender," I mused. "Mrs. Pike's soap." "Precisely," said Holmes. Carver stole a note from the shop and used it to bait Marsh. He thought scent was disguise. But perfume is a signature. It clung to the pouch, and it led us to the only place where a man might buy beds, silence, and coke ash together. He set the gear on the mantel beside his cigar ash. "Time," he added, "always leaves residue." Outside, the fog thickened, and the city's clocks seemed to tick a little louder, as if ashamed of their silence all night.